And we're live. Welcome back to the Better Than Bitcoin podcast, where I talk about the future of money. I'm your host, Jamie Damascus. So, since the last episode, a lot has happened to Bitcoin over the past week, so let's talk about it. For a little market recap, I'm slightly bullish on Bitcoin over the next few weeks. On last week's podcast episode, I assumed that there was already a 5-wave move off the low of 68.50 and was looking for a pullback before an explosive wave 3. What actually happened this week was that either the 5-wave structure that I stated on last episode of the podcast from 68.50 to 7,500 either had a really shallow correction or it wasn't really a 5-wave structure to begin with. This is because in the past week, just 2 days after my podcast episode, Bitcoin rose to over 84.60. That's a $1,100 move from when I published my analysis. For the record, I'm not saying that my analysis was right when I state that, by the way. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. I'm just saying when in the time frame it happened. So I'll show you what I'm seeing right now. So what I'm potentially seeing right now is possibly that this, before I just saw from here to here, and I was thinking that maybe I need to go lower from here to get a possible 5 waves up from here. But actually it actually hyperextended beyond this. This can be seen as a 5-wave move, and we can be either seen as a 3 waves down in this little spike right here, and this little spike right here, or this can be seen as an A, B, and looking for another C down around to the, probably looking for a 0.5 to 0.618, or sometimes if wave 2s can be deep to 786, but usually it's there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get another pullback down to the 7,600 area before another explosive wave 3. In that case, that wave 3 target, this would be seen as from the bottom of this to the top of this being, or for people who can't see, the 68.53 mark to the 84.63 mark. That can be seen as 5 waves up. So let's quickly calculate what our wave 3 target would be if it was to complete around 76.50, the correction. Let's see. So 84.63 divided by, or not divided by, minus 68.53. Ooh. 3. That's a 1610 move from the bottom. Multiply that by 1.618. A $2,600 move, and let's say the correction was to end around, if we need one more leg pull down, we can probably end around 76.50, or let's just say 7,600 for the record, just rounding down. If we were to get one last leg down to 7,600, then our wave 3 target would end at 10,200. It's not bad, not bad. Some technical difficulties. Yeah. Not bad overall. I'm personally leaning towards the view that we need one more leg down to complete an ABC correction and start the 3rd wave, but it is still possible that we have a 1-2 and start of a 1-2 on the 3. So it could be super explosive or one more leg down, and I'm leaning towards one more leg down. So that's all for the market update. Now I want to talk about a few news articles from this weekend that seemed cool that I want to talk about. So the first article is from Cointelegraph about the new CME Bitcoin options contracts that's actually launching today as I'm recording, which is Monday, January 13th. For those of you who don't know, the article is really short, describing all the details about the CME Group's Bitcoin investment products and comparing it to Bakkt's Bitcoin investment products. For those of you who don't know, Bakkt is a company that sells future contracts and options trading for Bitcoin and other digital assets. They mainly basically focus on digital assets. And the CME Group is a global markets company that's bigger than Bakkt, and it sells not just for digital assets, but all types of assets, of futures and options and blah, 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 stuff like that. So one last thing worth mentioning is that the article pointed out that when both CME and Bakkt Bitcoin futures contracts were both launched, they both had beginning periods of, I think it was a month to even a couple weeks after that. It was just extremely, extremely low volume before eventually the price got propped up, got popped, and the volume for institutional investors increased dramatically. So I would expect a few weeks of low options volume before a big pop in price. So that's pretty much it about the first article. Another article I want to talk about is a new BitPay integration that can let users buy gold with Bitcoin. I think this is really cool. So today, BitPay announced a partnership with OneGold, an online marketplace for buying, selling, and redeeming precious metals that will allow people to buy gold and other metals like silver with Bitcoin on OneGold's new mobile app. So this means that you can move your crypto assets around from digital tokens to gold and silver, all from the palm of your hand and your phone. Also, the OneGold service, I looked into it. The OneGold service allows you to, instead of selling your gold and metals for cash and getting like direct deposit or stuff like that, you can actually convert the gold holdings that they have on paper for you to real physical gold that you can be delivered to your doorstep with probably like shipping fee or something like that. I mean, forget about people saying that Bitcoin has no value because you can't touch it. You can now convert Bitcoin into real physical gold that can be delivered right to you. That's the future right there. Another article I want to talk about is that the U.S. Treasury is set to complete a proof of concept on a blockchain-based grants payment system. The article notes that as of January 10th, the U.S. Treasury Department launched a program to see if blockchain technology can really make some of their duties more efficient. The concept is supposed to work by tokenizing electronic federal letters of credit to grant recipients to help trace the distribution of the grant payments and making the transaction more secure. The tracking or tracing feature would also allow government officials to see who the grant was awarded to, when it was awarded, and how much it was awarded, and other details about basically it's a transaction on the blockchain so that you can see all of those details. This concept would almost be like the demo that IBM did with the farmers. IBM did a demo with farmers a long time ago where they used blockchain to track where exactly food products like coffee or corn or other agricultural products came from. Like you can go in a store, scan a QR code on the packaging and see where that specific food came from. That's what popped in my head when I was reading this. This is another concept. It's not really a fully actual thing yet. It's still a concept. I mean, it may turn into a real thing where the U.S. government starts to use blockchain technology to streamline several processes in government. Or maybe this concept announcement is just in response to how publicly the Chinese government is with implementing blockchain technology. I mean, nobody knows. It's still a concept. So anyways, I just had 3 articles to share and a little market update. Not a lot. But that's all for episode 12 of Better Than Bitcoin podcast. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Jamie Dabaskis. And peace.